Welcome back to the first 16. I am Sarge. Today we're going to be going through the first half of a middle school girls playoff game. And so it's really important that every game that we're doing that we pay attention to the details and going by the NFHS rules and understanding what we do on the court matters. So without further ado, let's go. All right, another first 16 episode. Thanks for stopping by. So let's get right to it. As we all know, the start of the game, we want to set the tone. And when we're setting the tone, that means we want to make sure we're doing the right things right off the bat. So, as I always say, make sure that your partner's ready. Make sure that the board is ready. And make sure that all the players are set. So let's start this clip here. Indicates to his partner. They're ready. Gonna come in. Gonna stop at the circle. Whistle. Take it out for safety. Ball looks a little to favor one side. But most importantly here, we want to look at this moment that is essential in the jump, and that is pausing, acknowledging who has the ball. All right. So we want to wait in this circle right here until this player goes by and this player goes by, right? Then, after they go by, we want to acknowledge right here which direction that we want the board to put the arrow, and that is this way. All these things matter. And if you have a very particular evaluator, this will matter because, getting to the next level, details matter. You're under a different stressor. The environments are different. And so you really got to focus on details that matter. Everything matters. Always remember that. I always say the little things matter. The big things matter. Everything matters because you just want to look sharp. That's always important to me. And it starts off right from the get-go. And I don't always do it right. And if I don't do it right, I will adjust. And that is what it's all about. Adjusting and accepting the fact you didn't do it right. That's really important. All right. That's the first clip. Moving on. All right. I don't talk about free throws enough, and I should. So let's get right to it. Where are we standing is a question that I get a lot from new officials. All right. So just remember that in the NFHS rules book, it says halfway between the near lane line and sidelines. All right. We're going to step down right here. And there's a reason for that. It's because we're going to take responsibility for this area. Now, the lead is going to be 4 feet off to this side, and they're going to be taking care of this responsibility. This is important because when we're adjudicating a violation, we want to make sure that our eyes are in the right area. Okay? So let's look at this play and see how these officials communicate. Count. Hand up. Violation. So great mechanic of indicating the violation. As we can see, there was a violation in the trails position, but also, if you look closely at this, you will see that there also was a violation in the other official's area. And that is why it's important to look at your areas and take accountability. So let's look at it. And this is a detail that really, really matters. Okay, so here we go. Right now they're going to communicate to each other, making sure, and they're going to redo the shot. Now, again, great indication, but let's get in the right let's get in the right spot and move down again right here. It's just a little ways down, and get in a position to get a good look. So, very important again that we understand where we're standing, where we're looking when it comes to free throws. All right, in this particular clip, we're going to be looking at the mechanics for a three and also the mechanics on a foul. And understanding we need to be very patient and get all the information before we move into the board position to give the information. So here we go. Okay, so right here, we want to make sure that we're doing the right mechanic, and it's going to be off to the side, okay? Not straight up with our hand and palm out. It's very, very important. And then we're going to move on to the next portion here, where the ball is going to go up, hit the backboard and rim, rebounded by gold, and then black pushes. Now, this is a general call, right? But we want to make sure that we do our best to stop the clock with our fist up, present the foul, get all the information, and then we want to make our way to the right area to present our information to the board. But before we do, we want to make sure that our partner here knows where we are taking out the ball. It's going to be here. So let's continue on here. Move it back a little bit here. So push, indicating where the ball is being taken out. Good hustle by the trail. And, okay, listen, I know this is petty, but I still want to stop where you're at, right there, and then present. As you can see, still walking into it. Complete stop in presentation. Okay? Now, we want to make sure that we are indicating, again, when we turn back, where is the ball being taken out. So it was, the foul occurred right here. And so the official pointed on this corner. So let's see if the lead is going to be in the right spot. Excellent. Excellent. Great communication, great discipline. I'm waiting till the new trail gets in the spot. Great way to take out the ball. Some things are just good. So basically, we want to make sure that we are indicating the right three out, not straight up. We want to make sure that we're pausing and getting all the information, going to the board, stopping, and giving and articulating what has happened. Okay, in this particular clip, we're going to be focusing on making sure we get our mechanics right. Also, we're going to make sure that we're not over-hustling to the board. And moreover, we want to stop and do our presentation. It's all about nice pace. So here we go. Nice drive to the hole. So good hustle to the board, but we're in motion here. Okay. Let's go back a little bit here. And so we want to make sure that we're getting the right call or the mechanic. So in this particular situation, we're going with a block. which it looked like it was on the arm. But if it is a block, and we want to make sure that we're doing the right mechanic, not the arms, but the hands out, okay? In the context of that, getting shot out of a cannon here, the momentum takes us away from a professional board stop. What I do like about this is getting in the right spot and giving the indication to the partner. So this was good. So I think in the bigger picture here, we really can digest that if we're going to make a good call like this, let's do a good presentation. It's really, really, really important. Okay, with this particular clip, I actually want to double down on this because we have inconsistencies with the free throw where we're standing, but also again back to articulating smooth transition to the board. And remember how big that box is for presenting. And so remembering that you don't need to go all the way to the middle. You can go to the box end, I call, to do your presentation. So again, great hustle down the court though. All right, good foul. Again, not wrist. Good hustle. A little better stop. All right, so I know it seems like nothing, but it really is, because we don't want to use our fists. We want to use our hands. Also, we want to stop completely, go through it, and give it right. 34. Black 34 on the arm, 2 shots, turn around. Also, on top of that, you can actually, after a foul, stop here. Because as we know, where our box is, it's very open to that situation. Right? So make a clear effort in knowing where the box is, and then that will slow you down a little bit so your presentation looks cleaner. So slow down. And let's move on to this next portion here. Now remember, this situation, the last time, great positioning on a free throw. But now we are behind the shooter. Whereas before, this ref was in the right spot. So there's no reason to stand behind the players. So getting in the right spot is really important. So let's be consistent on our floor positioning. Other than that, all this has to wrap into being confident and understanding some of the mechanics, and also knowing that you don't need to have 2 held balls when the call is made. All right, moving on. Okay, let's look at this clip here and a few things I want to go over. One, when we're coming up the court as trail, we want to make the effort to give all the intel to the coach what is happening. And that means giving the count toward the board. Giving the count toward the board as we make our way up. Okay? So giving the number out, obviously, maybe everybody up here is seeing it. But most importantly, with your arm out this way, the coach has an idea what the count is. So let's move on through this. So we're going to go into the matchup here. This is great lineup for the matchup. Got to get this shoulder out. All right, getting it out a little bit further. This is the lead's got a good look on what's happening in his primary. So we want to stay connected to our particular matchup. And remember, when the matchup leaves, we still have responsibilities in this particular play. So here we go. Okay, now we're behind the play. Okay, and the matchup is here. Now, we do have some support in the back because there's nothing really happening here or here. So all the focus is really going to be up here. All right. So what do we want to do as lead in this situation? We want to make sure specifically, we get out here a little bit better look. But as for trail, we want to make sure that we are stepping down. We're moving now into our primary responsibilities, and that is still the responsibility of the trail. Now, this next spot in this clip here is even more important. Okay, now the ball and the competitive matchup have left, right? We still have to be connected to this to help our partner. So we want to step down. We want to step down. This right here is no man's land. Nothing's happening up here. No one's here. So we want to still be engaged with this play. So this is very important. So summarize, when we're coming up the court, make sure we're doing our count toward the bench. Make sure that we're connected to our play, and we're stepping down on the competitive matchup to help our partner. Okay, in this clip, we're going to be looking at the trail using a good open look position, and also we're going to be focusing on the trail utilizing a good drop, also not bailing after the shot. So in the context of the earlier clip, this is what we're talking about when we're looking at utilizing the arc movement, but being disciplined to make sure that we're dropping and getting that support that the lead may need if there's a rebound. So here we go. Good look. So there's the drop. So we have the drop. Now we're moving down, and the lead is really doing a great job. Has a good look, right? So we're going to move into this next position here. We realize that the ball now is going to go to the other side. Okay, so this little step down here is really important. You're leaning on your right foot, and you're staying with what is happening here. Let me show you again. I cannot tell you how important this is and essential. All right, so again, watch the little step down. Excellent. Staying with the ball, and we're moving up. All right, so all those particular things are really essential to really getting in a good position, being disciplined and focusing and sticking with competitive matchup, and also being able to look through the lane to pick up any infractions that may be happening. All right, in this clip, again, I want to show it being done right so that we sort of get an idea that we're emphasizing, again, coming up the court and the direction of the count. Right toward the board. Making sure that we're still doing our arc movement, coming over, good spot. Want to drop down. Getting a good spot. There we go. So during that whole possession, we want to make sure that we're starting off doing it right, making sure that we're utilizing our arc movement and maximizing our positioning to get a good look on the play. So these are the things that have been asked, if you please show what it looks like to have it accurately done. So I'm going to start doing that a little bit. So that is that particular clip. Okay, in this particular clip, looking at mechanics and communication between partners. So in this particular clip, the trail is going to be coming up, and he's trying to communicate to his partner that there's 1 minute. And he just wants a confirmation from the partner, but it doesn't happen. This is really important to be on the same page when this is happening. I will do it at 1 minute, and then I'll do it at 30 seconds. So that helps us sort of get ready for what's about to happen. So let's go through this. Trying to give the indication. Nothing. So it seems like a little thing, but when it comes down to, grading and being evaluated, that is part of communication. All you gotta do is raise your hand. 1, I got it. Because what's happening here is it's taken away from the count. So the official's hand is up, and you could, at the same time be counting, but it shouldn't take but 2 seconds to put your hand up for 1 and move on into the next sequence of the play. Okay, in this particular clip, I want to be very clear. We need to use our mechanics, using our voice, indicating to the gym what is happening, because you don't want to confuse coach, player, or for that matter, your partner. So let's look at this and look at it from the perspective of an evaluator trying to figure out what is happening here. Here we go. All right. Trail's going to come over. He's going to drop down because now it's out of his primary. We got some play over here. We got a call. We got pointing, and then we're going to run over here, and we're going to say 5-0. But what was the mechanic? Okay. Nobody has a clear understanding of what just happened. The players are looking around. The coaches are looking around. If there's fans, they're probably confused on what's happening. Fortunately, there was a good indication from this official to indicate to his partner where to go. That's great. But now let's rewind this a little bit, and let's look at what this official is actually calling, because you just don't want to be critical of a messy mechanic. You want to look into and break down exactly what this official was looking at. All right, so now 50 comes down. All right, so let's stop right there. 50 comes down in this area, okay? And there is a push in the back from gold. All right? So that starts the process. Okay? And so in this area here, I'm going with a push in the back or an illegal screen. But because it's non-defined, I can't define it from what it looks like from here, and there's no mechanic to follow it. It's just a number and no articulation of what happened. So let's articulate, use the mechanics, and make sure that we communicate to our partner what is happening, because I actually think in this particular clip the partner is unsure what's going on as well. So a good position of where it's going to be taken out, but again, let's articulate, let's get the mechanics, and let's clean it up. Okay, as you watch this clip, you may think everything is just fine, but the reality here is, even if you have a good, strong call and a good follow through at the board, there's always going to be something in the particular sequence that a good evaluator will look at and go, I don't know about that. So here we go. Ball's being taken out on the inline. Good handoff. Good count. Ball's passed in. Foul. Foul. Stop. Count the basket. Okay, so that seemed fine, right? But was the extra whistle necessary? It is not. Now, the extra whistle is something that comes normally from the rec side, so it can be a habit sometimes. And so we move into this next portion here, and we go into a nice stop, count the basket, give everything, turn around, indicate one. Again, we need to clarify where we're standing. Where we're standing. It's very important. Good hand on the shot. So, it doesn't seem like much, but a double whistle can get you in trouble. Take that in consideration. If you're making a really good, strong call, um, an evaluator might ding you for the second whistle. But overall mechanics, you'll get a good positive take on it. So take that in consideration. Okay, in this particular clip, I want to emphasize that if we're going to make a call and we're going to sell it, we need to make sure that it's going to be the right emphasis of the right call. Okay, also when we're stopping from the position to call, we need to make sure that our head is in a stop motion as much as we possibly can to get a good visual on the play. So let's go through it. I like the sell of it. And then the presentation again, not very clear. It seemed a little uncertain. But I want to go back and really dissect this. And I don't want to be negative about it. I want to be very clear that when we're running down the court really fast, and this right here to me can be problematic for anybody. Where our head is looking. The play is here. All right. When we come into a sudden stop here, we're reactionary to the play that is definitely being developed in this particular set. So the gold player got underneath black. And so from my perspective here, and I'm quarterbacking it, this would be a foul on gold because there was no leaning in, there was no position gained from it. And as you can see, there's a sudden stop. And so when you have a sudden stop, there's a lot of eye movement. So I would say one thing is great sell of a call that might not be right, but if you're going to sell the call, make sure you give the right board information. So, other than that, this is a very good learning tool here about how we run up the court and how we need to stop at the right spots to get our eyes on the situation. Okay, I want to end with this. Because the score is 27-14, we're going into halftime. It is important and vital that in the last seconds of a game that you do not stop officiating, that you stay with the matchup that is happening in front of you. One, it's your job. Two, it's a safety issue, specifically dealing with calling a foul and making sure that you're at the right spot. And I mean this because I am guilty of this often, especially when the game gets out of hand and the other team is just whooping them. So I'm guilty of this. So this is what I mean. Okay, what? He given up on this? With about 1.4 seconds on the clock. It's 27-14. You have to stay in the game. You got to move. You got to work. This individual is working. So you cannot give up on the play. It is essential because you do not know what's going to happen down there. And even though it's a call, it's probably, from what I'm seeing, is there was a call before that. And so just because as an official you get the second call does not, make up for the first one. So I'm ending with this. Don't get lazy and officiate the game, not the scoreboard. Good stop and reporting, though. All right. All right, good people. Thanks for stopping by and checking out today's First 16 episode. I really appreciate it. If you like this episode, please comment, subscribe, and moreover, share with those in your circle that may use this information to make them a better official. Again, thanks for stopping by. I'm Sarge. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.